Okay, welcome to the reading room. This is William Powers 424. I'd like to review a book that was published in 1972. Takes place probably sometime prior to that. It was written by a young graduate student named David Morrell, who at the time was at Pennsylvania State University. He was inspired to write this book in 1968. It's titled First Blood by David Morrell. If you've never, if you don't know what this book is, the First Blood may ring a bell, but this is the book that started the Rambo movies, okay? The character John Rambo was introduced first to the public in this book in 1972 by David Morrell. I read this book my senior year of high school, okay, and I read a paperback edition sometime in 72 or 3, and I graduated in high school in 73, and it was a great book. I enjoyed it. This book, as opposed to the movie, the book is set in rural Kentucky. Okay, it made it even more, tied it to me closer because I'm from rural Tennessee. So this book was set in rural eastern Kentucky at the time. It intertwines the sheriff there, who is a Korean War hero, and John Rambo, who is a Vietnam veteran, home with probably what we would call PTSD now. Leaving the war, a Special Forces Green Beret that's actually hitchhiking through town where the book starts. And so, if you haven't read it, you really should. It ends differently than I won't tell you too much, but the ending's not the same. You can't always make a movie, but this particular edition that I believe came out in 1988, David Morrell's introduction, but there's a little introduction in the book that I would like to share with you, some of the things he talks about. One of the things that the Rambo, he never thought, from his reading or from his writing when he wrote this book, that it would do what it did. One of the things he kind of coined a new phrase, like "go Rambo on you." If I said almost anywhere in America or the world, if someone said, "Hey, I'm going to go Rambo on your butt," you know what they were talking about. Rambo was a fictional character. He made up the name. He tells a little bit about that in here. He tells about where he got some of the ideas for both parts in his introduction, and it went on, but it's really a great read. If you enjoyed the movies, read the book, because there's enough difference in this book from the movies that you'll still enjoy the book if you enjoy to read. And I watched the movies. I've watched most of them. I don't know that I've seen them all. I enjoyed some of them to an extent. Not really. The problem I had was, if you read the book and then watch the movies, it was just hard for me to put Sylvester Stallone in that John Rambo character. I just never was comfortable with that. Just didn't seem right for some reason. I guess it grew on you after 5 or 6 movies, but I never felt just 100% comfortable with that. I don't know. He was popular at the time, and so he got the part. And he's a good action. I love some of his movies. One that I'll mention later and review a little bit later, Cliffhanger, one of my favorite movies. I'll do a review of that movie. And anyway, but take a read. It's kind of hard to find. I don't know if it's in the public libraries, but it's First Blood by David Morrell, and it was first out in 1972. There's been several paperback reprints since then. Thank you for watching, and hope you enjoyed the review.